I just completed this bender, and I wanted to go ahead and put a video up of it. Essentially, these dies here are from the Harbor Freight tubing roller, as you can see right here. What I thought I would do is just kind of repurpose those dies and see if I could build a bender out of them to complete some projects that I have coming up. And as you can see right here, the bends come out very nicely. Now, I think it'll only work for the smaller stuff due to the size of the dies. I tried some 1-inch round tubing with the 1-inch round dies, and it just kind of kinked it and mashed it. Actually, it's rusted junk, but you can kind of see that it was doing more crimping on it than anything else. So anyway, you can see that I got some nice bends out of this. 90 degrees, 180. I could probably do a little better than 180 degrees, and I'll show you here. So looking straight down on the bender, let me move this out of the way. You can see that I've got an adjustable fence here. There's holes here and here are holes to allow my pipe clamp to come through there and clamp down whatever material I may have. Typically I'm using just the hole right here on the fence. I guess if I needed larger material I could do that, but the problem is the larger material doesn't work due to the size of the dies, I'm sure. So anyway, as you can see from the top, I can bend this better than 180 degrees. Sorry about the camera movement. I gotta get out of the way. Comes all the way up to about there. And so, I mean, I can make the material run into itself. I think that's about all I can ask for there. And I made this adjustable. I'll show you here in a second. I made this adjustable so that I could use Swag Off-Road dies if I ever ordered some. I'm thinking about ordering some square ones. But essentially, these Harbor Freight dies are not all cut the same. The 1-inch round ones will run into each other and hold a piece of material just fine, but these 1/2-inch square dies, if you look at this butted up to each other, that's smaller than a 1/2 inch, and then there's probably about a little better than a 1/4 inch gap in there. So I wanted to make this adjustable because I have no idea how Swag Off-Road dies are. If I had any ordered, I could tell you, but anyway, let me just feed this piece of material in here. Show you how this goes. I wish I had someone holding this camera for me, but you'll just have to bear with me in all the shaking. I'm going to loosen the fence. Make sure my material's lined up in here. And I'm just going to, sorry about that. Bring that up. Okay, so on the back, essentially what I have inside of there, can't really tell. There's a big 1-inch bolt that I have that goes in there, and it comes up actually probably out to about here. So I can put a larger die in there, slightly larger die in there if I ever need to. I may redesign this thing. Maybe I can put a large die in there sometime. Anyway, if I tighten this down, you can see that it mashes these two dies against the material, and you can see what I mean about these Harbor Freight dies not being the greatest, you know. But anyway, now that I've got that locked down, I'm going to go ahead and adjust my fence. Now, the one problem I do have with this, which I haven't practiced with it a whole lot, so I can't determine exactly where I'm going to be making my bend. I know that somewhere out here, about a 1/4 inch beyond this mark, will be the center of my bend, just based on some marks I did earlier and stuff. I'll figure it out later and see if I can come up with a standard procedure to get the bends exactly where I want them. Anyway, I've got that clamped down. bear with me for a second as I clamp this down. So I just feed the chain from my pipe clamp through that small hole in the fence. If this slips at all, you'll just kink the pipe, you won't bend it. Okay. So I used to use the pipe clamp on the other side, but I was always running into it. So I clamp it back this direction, and you can see how it's going to operate it. So I'll just go ahead and bend that. I may just go 90 degrees because I've got the one hand right now, and didn't occur to me I had that butted up right against that. Let me loosen this. Pull this out away from it just a little. Tighten that up again. And here we go. Unfortunately, my table moves after I get about past the 90-degree mark, so you're going to see a lot of jerking just to keep the table from moving. Alright, that's good enough. Please excuse the mess. Just needed to free up my hand so I could bend this. I clamp this down here. Give it a bend. And I forgot to tighten that down. And because I'm out of material, I'll just go off the end there. Unfortunately, I ran out of material, so that's the bend that I just did. My previous attempt, I didn't clamp down hard enough and it slipped off my fence. I'm going to have to maybe improve that design a little bit. I actually did it a second time. Did the same thing, but as you can see previously, as long as you clamp your material hard enough against the fence, it doesn't slip and actually comes out pretty well. And actually the deformation on the tubing isn't that bad either. Anyway, hope you enjoyed.